Okay. I just wanted to make this video because I feel like it's really quiet in here. Dance. Always. Express. Always. Be yourself. Be true to yourself. Always. And feel sexy. Always. Feel sexy. Always. No matter who you are, whether you are deemed good or bad by other people, whether you're unsure yourself if you're deemed good or bad anyway, you know your intention and you know what's going on. And I think this past like couple months I've realized that I am never going to stop dancing. I am never going to stop dreaming, and I am never going to stop being me for anyone. This is super, super, super true, and I hope that everybody watching this can see and learn that, can understand the importance of self-love. And I dedicate every video that follows this one and every video in the past, even if not. I dedicate every video to myself, to everything I've been through, and every little thing people have told me was not good enough to be considered a trauma, or not good enough to be considered a hurdle or an obstacle in life, because I only know what I've been through, and I only know my faults and where my intentions were. I've realized all my life I've been giving off the wrong impression, especially to people that I like, especially to people that I feel like I'm giving huge amounts of respect to, that I'm giving, and it's me. The world is functioning at a different rate than I'm functioning at. The world is doing something different, but I've realized that ever since I was young, growing up in an all-girls school, I never really understood the male gender. And I always thought if you like somebody, you gotta be like a popular girl to show them, which is completely wrong, and you should be yourself. And if you're feeling sexy in a way that a popular girl doesn't exude, then be that girl. If you're feeling sexy by dancing to a really upbeat song, or trying something new that you haven't tried before, or stepping out of your comfort zone, if that makes you feel wild and sexy and instantaneously a little bit naughty maybe, and maybe a little bit daring, then do it. But don't indulge in anything of the sorts of self-harm or alcohol or substances or anything like that. I have a little story to tell. Easter weekend came and heightened everything that I had been suppressing for a long time, because I drank a glass or two of wine. And since then, and we all know that anyone who has studied a lot of research and stuff knows that if you drink alcohol, you are letting in an inhibition. You're letting in some external force into you. And unfortunately, I did so drink, and I ruined parts of my natural diet. I was dreading Easter weekend for months since Christmas, because that means, I've been dreading it, and actually that's probably where the problem lay. But anyway, I don't regret anything I've done, because some things needed to be done so that you know who's your friend and who isn't. Like, let's cut to the chase. Let's do it clear. Everyone has different life paths. Everyone has different obstacles to face, and And sometimes people mess up. But that doesn't make you a bad person if you mess up. That doesn't mean that I was wishing and hoping that everything would be okay regardless of what I felt. I think this is the first time I'm coming to terms with this. It's very cryptic. I don't expect anyone to understand what I'm talking about. But to myself, I knew that you didn't want to hurt anybody. I knew that you just wanted to express yourself. I knew that you might have been compromised by a different spirit at the time of what happened. And that's a shame, and that's regretful, and that goes back to Easter weekend and drinking 2 glasses of white wine. But I know where I come from, and I know what I feel, and the rest of the world has told me multiple times that I don't belong here, and I'm corrupt and wrong, and a whole plethora of things over time. And you know what? None of that matters. Just me expressing myself matters. To me, that's good enough. I don't fit in socially. I sometimes feel like I am not really, really, really fully normal. And I realized something when talking to my boyfriend this past weekend, because he's been the biggest support of what's been happening. He's been so understanding, and we talked about how I come across to men. And since I was a little girl, I thought you were supposed to be overly sexual when you confront somebody that you want, that you like, that you find amazing. You have to be, or else they won't like you. If you're not sexual, if you are not flirtatious and sexual and sexy, they won't approve of you. You won't be seen unless that's how you are. And from a very young age, I felt like I had to show that. Then my boyfriend said, if you show that you're super sexual, or if you show that you're wearing a certain outfit that's revealing, or if you're dancing in a quite racy way, or if you are trying to show a certain way, you're not saying I like you. You're saying I want you to sleep with me. And I didn't know this. It kind of occurs to me that sex and love to me are the same thing. But to everyone else, love and sex are separate, and they are completely cleaned off of one another. But to me, and at a very early age, I realized, or I came to think, that they were the same thing. And I love my sensuality as much as I love myself as well. It's a part of me that I have embraced, and embraced more than the average person has. So when someone shows me affection, like they have in the past, when someone has shown affection towards me, I translate that as love. Whether it's sexual in nature or it's loving and platonic in nature. Those things have become muddled in my mind growing up, and this is my confession, because Satan hates confessions, and God loves confessions. And I always think that they go hand in hand, and I think they do. It's our world that doesn't allow us to put the two together in many circumstances. Like, for example, food cannot be sexual. Why can't food be sexual? In a sense that, can't you feel the same joy out of eating that you do with your body? Can't you feel the same kind of love that you'd feel for a person, for a plant or a tree? I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud and starting a discussion about self-love and sexuality and the connection between love and sex, when dancing to an Ariana Grande song is supposedly wrong and disgusting, whereas dancing to like, there's such a wrong thing about expressing oneself in the world today. It's unprofessional, it's against the government, it's against the laws of nature. Why can't dance? I know dance was a bad thing at one point. Dance was used to conjure evil at one point, but can dance be transmuted to be a good thing? Can't dancing and singing and expressing oneself for another be a good thing instead of crossing a certain line or a certain boundary? I'm gonna leave that with you, but for me and my life, I shall dance more. These videos, I will dance more because I hold back, guys. Like, I will look like this when I'm singing. Sometimes I'll be like, because I know that's what you guys like. But guess what? This isn't about what everyone else likes. This is about how I am expressing my love for a certain song and displaying it, and displaying my love for myself, and displaying my love for everything I love already. So these next songs are Love on Top by Beyonce, Aretha Franklin, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, and Sunday Kind of Love by Etta James. And they're all dedicated to loving oneself and feeling empowered by how you can literally achieve things and make yourself proud. And I feel like there's so much judgment and harm in dancing. Like, I could literally start doing a freestyle, what's it called? I could start doing a dance right now and you guys would judge me like hugely. And especially if I started like popping my chest and my hips and there was some kind of, oh no, did she not do some kind of move that rotates her root chakra? I think that it's very wrong to not express oneself. We are in a culture where there's fear and there's shame and guilt, right? We all know this, so why do we abide by that? It's time that Tanya Cat 92 is going to post some awesome dancing videos. And I don't care if you guys think that I'm fat or if I maybe don't have the right flexibility, because I know there's going to be comments that are about like, oh wow. There's going to be comments, okay? But I do feel like the intention behind it is stronger than the surface level. What maybe some of you haven't questioned, and I'm not saying all of you, but some of you haven't questioned the fact of how do we express ourselves perfectly? Like, how do we really want to be? Do we want to be seen? Do we want to seem oppressed by this society that we're living in? Or do we want to liberate ourselves and love ourselves? And if this dance move feels good, or like if like this dance move feels good, or like flicking my hair like that, if that feels good, I can do it and I should. If I want to make my lips look more plump and just, I can. If I want to raise my eyebrows, if I want to give off like a sexy vibe, if I want to give off a more like mature vibes, if I want to give up a more mature vibe, I can, because I am my own person. More so, if you admire and adore someone, tell them. Don't do it in a way that kind of misses the point. You want to be straightforward and honest with everyone you know, because then you'll find out if that person is forgiving or if that person is actually out to get you and be opposed to you. And this is who I am. I can't pretend, and I will not pretend who I am, because I've pretended in high school and in elementary school because we weren't allowed to do certain things at my school. We weren't allowed to express ourselves or speak or, you know, have certain ideas. We couldn't paint our nails. We couldn't wear colored scrunchies in our hair. There are things that I regret growing up having to submit to, and I want to be a free spirit now in this life. So I will do so. And no, I'm not going to go over the line, I should say, and do super crazy things that I'll be lured in against God, because I am of God and I believe in God very strongly, so I will only operate on his level. Nothing I intend to do is meant to harm or oppress or steal, I guess you could say, from other people. I'm so tired of people assuming who I am. You don't know me, so don't judge me. Ask me, talk to me, and figure out. But literally, it's sad that we are judged so quickly by our first impressions, that there is no opportunity to see deeper into who we are, and that's a part of hookup culture that is huge. I have a lot to say about hookup culture and how it infiltrates relationships and connections right now on this level.